Yesterday we spoke to you about the defensive situation at Nottingham Forest. In today's video, because you guys have been asking in the comments about strikers and attackers, we will talk to you about who Forest are potentially lining up. But it's gonna be a war. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you are watching this. Hope you are having a wonderful day, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news in this case. Guys, in today's video, as mentioned previously, we will be talking about the attacking elements of Nottingham Forest. A lot of you are saying, well, we've had this debate many times, haven't we, over the Forest forums, etc. Is the defensive recruitment more important, or is it more important for us to recruit up front and get some firepower into that team? Well, it seems that it's going to be a bit of both. I would like to see, obviously, still my priority personally is a defender. But let me know down below, do you think attack is more important that we recruit in, or defense in the January window? Now, what we're going to talk to you about is the current players that are linked to Forest in terms of the attacking threat. And we're going to start with none other than Malinovskyi, who plays for Atlanta. So what do we know there? He's already got strong ties with the likes of Freuler, who we have as well. And he's the player that Forest were very keen on in the summer, and a deal that nearly did actually get done. But things have changed, so let's talk about those at the moment. Malinovskyi is in the final year of his contract with Atalanta, and things haven't been going so smoothly for him this season. He's had 1 goal and 1 assist, and I think about 11 appearances so far. He's gone from being a staple in that team to kind of being on the peripherals and on the fringes of it at the moment. And with 1 year left on his contract, Atalanta have one more window opportunity where they can cash in on him before they lose him for absolutely nothing. So what does this mean? It's gone from being potentially a £40 million deal, which is what they were demanding in the summer, which is why we didn't go through with it. Same with Spurs, same with West Ham. To now a bit of a panic sell from Atalanta, where it may be in the region of between 18 to 25 mil for the 29-year-old. Now, is this a good deal? Yes, it is for what you get in terms of the player. But what you guys have to understand, I know a lot of you are huge fans of him, is a couple of things. Firstly, his form has definitely dipped this season. Is that because of the way he's being treated, the way his future is uncertain at Atalanta, and is his mind kind of checked out and he's ready to go on to his next move? Or is it because he's just got a bit crapper? I think that's the kind of question we need to be debating. For me, I've always rated his quality. I think it's more to do with the contract than it is to do with him just becoming crap. But at the same time, you have to take into consideration his age. He's a 29-year-old. I think what's really relevant about this window so far is most of the players I'm seeing linked with Nottingham Forest are players of a more, should we say, mature age, kind of a bit older than me, 29. Don't start in the comments. Anyway, which tells me that Forest are probably very interested in him. The problem I've got with it isn't about has he gone crap or is he just checked out or what have you. It's the fact that he's not actually an out-and-out striker. This is more a number 10 position. And we've got Lingard. I know some of you like him. I know some of you don't. We got Morgan Gibbs-White, who is nicely developing. These are our 2 number 10s. Let's not forget the Brazilian wizard, Scarpa, who will be joining us as well in January. That already puts us at 3 potential number 10s in a team that's already struggling to find balance up front and keeps playing with a false 9. Look, we've had that debate time and time again. If you want to get your thoughts in on that, put them down below as always. But is it really the time to be bringing in another number 10 who, yes, can play maybe as the false 9 if Cooper still wants to persist with that weird tactic? I don't know. But I don't think he's the right fit right now for Forest in terms of the profile that we need. Don't get me wrong. In no way am I saying he hasn't got the qualities that we need. He most definitely does. But you can't just keep buying the same style player in a position that we're already quite full on. So for me, I personally would rather see an out-and-out number 9 if we were going to chase one, as we've, jokingly talked about Ronaldo coming in, but a player of that profile I'd be okay with. it would fit quite nicely in that kind of number 9 position. There's also been talks about, look, I'll throw a few names. These aren't linked. These are just talks of players that are available. You got the likes of Luis Suarez, who is going to become a free agent in January. Now, basing him off the performances I've seen of him in the World Cup, I've not been impressed with how his performances are. He's clearly a shadow of his former great playing striker days. But on a free, is he really a risk? Depends on what his wages are, I guess. But is he still that player who's an out-and-out number 9 who can score goals? I don't know. It'd be something I'd be interested in your guys' opinions on. Maybe he would be. You've seen Cavani come over to, say, Manchester United over the last couple of years. And while he's not been injured or homesick, he's actually been able to score a few key goals for them. And maybe Suarez can put in a similar performance. Now, they're not the same style of player. I completely accept that. But potentially, Suarez does have that Prem experience, whereas other players like that don't. You could bring the example of Diego Costa at Wolves. He's basically done nothing since he's come in. And could Suarez be a similar kind of player to him in terms of nothingness? I've always thought Suarez was a bit more pacier than the likes of Costa, had a bit more guile about him. So maybe he could work. But look, again, to reiterate, there's nothing on this Suarez thing. I'm just saying he's a player that suddenly becomes a free transfer. But coming back to our Atlanta chap here, I still don't think Forest will get him because the likes of Tottenham are really keen on him. There's been rumours over the last month that there's already been a pre-agreement between him and Spurs, and Conte is a huge admirer of him. Look, will that happen? Most likely, because they're kind of looking for that Luka Moura replacement. Yes, Luka Moura does play wide on the right, but he can do a bit of a cam position. And for me, if you look at the Spurs team, where are they lacking? They're lacking in creativity in that attacking midfield segment of the pitch. So I see this as being a better fit for Spurs than I do for Nottingham Forest. And I feel that Conte is more keen on him than the likes of Steve Cooper. I think we would have got him in the summer had Atalanta not overpriced him so much. But for where we are now, I just don't think he's the right fit. But maybe you guys disagree with that. Let me know down in the comments below. Look, a striker that has been linked with Nottingham Forest. And again, at this stage, guys, let me just reiterate, any player talk is all probably either paper talk or agent links, but some of them do gather more pace than others. But I'm just going to bring them to you just to start to get your mindsets aware of the types of players Forest are talking about. And that will be the Senegalese striker Dia, who's actually a decent player, a player that's already performing in the World Cup for Senegal. He's starting for them up front. So do keep your eye out for him when England play Senegal in the last 16 of the World Cup. He's already got himself, I think, about 6 goals this season in Serie A with 2 assists in 14 appearances. In a league where, let's face it, scoring goals isn't exactly easy because they're very defensively minded when it comes to the style of football they play. In that league, that is. Now, is he the profile that we would need to see? Yes, definitely more so than the Atlanta can, because he gives us a number 9 presence, which is what we've been crying out for quite a lot. What I prefer about him, though, is his age. I think he's about 25 years old, so he's a younger profile player, and it's his value as well. He's valued in somewhere in the region of about 10 to 12 million. Now, at that price, for a striker who is scoring goals in the league, who is representing well at international level. I mean, look at the experience he's going to be having as well. Great group stages performances by Senegal. They're now into the knockout stages of the World Cup. We'll see how he performs against England when it comes to that match later on in the week. But for me, that's a better proposal than our boy over here, who I know a lot of you like. But for me, this is different because it allows us to get a number 9 player who can perform. That price is kind of tempting for me. However, what you will find is that we've got competition from very similar clubs that we seem to be going up against when it comes to any player. And I know these clubs have been getting frustrated with Forest business, especially over the summer. But who's it going to be? West Ham are in for him as well, or at least linked to him. I think linked would be the more appropriate word at this stage in the season to talk about rather than saying in for him. The other club linked to him as well would be Leeds United. So it is teams that are quite similar in their aspirations at the moment to Nottingham Forest. Well, Leeds are, West Ham are trying to recover as well. But I think for us, he would be a more suitable candidate and would fit the profile that we need for a number 9 over the likes of, I can never say his name, him and Luis Suarez and players like that. But let me know down below, would you agree with that or not? And I know 10 million sounds a lot, I mean, from where we were last season, but 10 million on a number 9 in that prime age, in and around that 25 years of age, is an absolute bargain. Let me know if you like the idea of him or not. For me, he's probably one of my favorite candidates if we were to pick up a striker. There's a lot more we could talk about in terms of midfield and what we'd be doing there. There's some talks about a CDM. We'll bring that to you later in the week. I'm just piecing together a bit of research on it at the moment. But I kind of want to do position by position. So we looked at defenders yesterday. We'll look at attackers today. Maybe if I get everything sorted out, we'll do the midfielders tomorrow. But that brings you up to speed with your latest Forest news. Hope you've enjoyed the video. It's so good to be back and talking to you guys again. Please, before you go, if you'd be kind enough to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and please carry on becoming members by hitting that join button down below. It helps support the channel and helps us get cool little upgrades like this mic. So hopefully you like this new sound of my voice. A couple of other things going to be coming up on the channel. We're developing a lot of things in the background as well to make this the most amazing experience you guys can have on YouTube for everything Nottingham Forest related. So stick with us and things will be revealed soon. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.